Hello ladies and gentlemen, Azagai here. I'm bringing to you another video for Conqueror's Blade, published by Porus Interactive, and this is a PTR update. So we just got some news that there are going to be some changes to Iron Reapers, Companion Cavalry, Murmillones, and one other unit. Yep, the Zonji Heavy Cavalry. So very quickly, there's only just one that you can see in the
塞外悲风
on the
切，
PTR
萧
itself.
何兵已竭。
Yeah. Which is the changes to Iron Reaper's heavy armor trait. It has been boosted. So, first with Iron Reapers. The decline effect of very heavy armor. So there's been balance adjustment to these guys. So what they've done is that previously it was 48. It started at 4, so it's immune to daze while attacking, which is wrong because they're immune. They're still technically immune to daze straight up. But for there's something they're not immune to daze when they get back attack, so it's a little bit weird. Um, so even though it says immune to daze while attacking, it's basically immune to daze for most things. For basically most things, but that doesn't really matter since their abilities make them CC immune. But it has an initial damage reduction effect to. So this is before the adjustment. So it had initial damage reduction to all types of damage of 48%. Each hit taken reduces damage reduction by 2.5 down to 18% and will not reset the very heavy armor. So what this means is that it doesn't go back up to 48%. Now it's been changed to start at 60%, which makes no sense because how do you reduce it down? I mean, like, it's hard capped at 18%, but it's just really weird because it'll go blah 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 blah, and then it'll be like at 20%, and then you just get hit one more time, and then it'll just stop at 18%. So it's just like, oh, this is not a clean number, so it feels weird. The next part is probably the most important part. Using Shock and Tiger's Guile will reset the defense effect of very heavy armor, restoring it to 60% damage reduction. That's huge, by the way. That's absolutely huge. It doesn't say anything about that though, and so it's quite it's quite strong when you think about it because charging in, you reset your thing, hit get hit a bunch when you're charging in. A few seconds later, you go back up to 60%. You're reducing damage by up to 60% and it gets reduced down. The boost of 12% and the resetting put these guys at a very, very strong start off every time they use an ability, meaning that these guys will be basically champions when they use their abilities. I don't think there's going to be very much people can do against Iron Reapers just on the straight up. Like, this is a really strong change for Iron Reapers, and I do want to do some tests, but I just don't have anyone to help me out right now. The next unit is Murmillones. So we get to see the Brawler passive, but just going one by one, how it's written here. During the Murmillones guard, Murmillion, Murmillion, Millilo, Million, Murmillion. The Murmillion guard damage taken is reduced by 30%. That's pretty strong. You're reducing damage by 30% while you're charging. And again, they do 2 charges, so they're reducing a ton of damage. And even if and when the charge ends, they get CC immune and get put into their shield wall formation, earning like this shield wall adds defense increase. So it makes it really strong, makes it really tough to kill, which is good because that's what you want as a shield unit. But the problem here is that the formation created by Mermilona's Guard is very tight, and you can't adapt it. So, still got that tight box. You still got problems where you got some guys facing one way, some guys facing the other way when all the enemies are just in front of you. But it's good for when you're surrounded, when you're coming in from the side, when you're coming in from the rear, those kinds of things. The other part is that they're buffing the shield wall recovery 3% health every 1.5 seconds instead of the previous 2% every 1.5 seconds. So um, we estimated it was around about 2% every tick. It was basically correct. We just didn't know how long a tick was. So they are boosting that to now um, 3 a tick. So it'll take roughly about, my goodness, it just takes roughly 30 ticks, which would be about 30 ticks? No, 33 ticks. Yeah. It would take roughly around about 33 ticks, which is just over, I think it's 48 seconds? Man, trying to do quick math and I'm failing here. 33 ticks. Okay, it'll take 52. No, it would take 49. It'll almost take 50 seconds for Meriones to go from 0 to 4 in this new one. Previously, it would have taken about 2.5 minutes, if I'm doing that correctly. No, it would have taken 75 seconds. So they're reducing, so the increase has reduced the amount of time it takes for them to heal up to max by 25 seconds. Like, literally half. No, literally a third of the time removed. So yeah. Next is their new brawler passive, which is interesting because it's how it's written. New tab. Basically said new tab for some reason. It's a new unit trait. Brawler Shield, increasing piercing, slashing, and blunt defense by 15 points for 20 seconds while Mermilone takes damage. Now, they have to take damage, which is interesting because I honestly think that they should be able to stack this without taking damage. And it's only 150, but it's pretty massive compared to their base. Now, it stacks 10 times. And upon reaching 10 stacks, it will gain an additional 150 points of piercing, slashing, and blunt penetration for 20 seconds. This status duration cannot be extended during this process. So, so it's weird. It's very weird. What it's saying sounds like you have to get hit 20 times within 20, I'm sorry, you have to get hit 10 times within 20 seconds, and then it'll pop the second one. So it's very strange. So they're going to have this like boost of defenses as they get wailed on and then lose it after 20 seconds. It's not a lot, by the way. 150 defenses against most things would only reduce, like, high end reduced damage by 15%. Practical effect is around about 7.5. It's not going to change very much at the high end, but the ramp up just like I'm not sure about you, but most things will die within 10 hits. And especially since if this is correct, they have to take damage in order to trigger this passive. That means that hitting their shields do not count, which is 90% of the defensive capability. But do mind also, Momilones guards have heaps of damage resistance packed into their shield wall, and now 30% into the Momilones guard. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is the right way. Like they're throwing in these passives that just makes no sense, and just trying to pad out the unit somehow. Like the unit's very bland as it is, and it's good, be that it's bland. It's very simple. Um, Obviously, Shield Wall is chock full of a bunch of things. Like it's formation. It's like formation based things, but that's fine because they're dependent on conditions. They're not. These things aren't just like, oh, they're just a whole bunch of passives. I mean, it is a whole bunch of passives. There's just two main passives: the damage resistance and the health recovery over time. Those are the two main things. The knockback on hit, it's just a formation thing. Um, realistically, realistically, that doesn't matter too much. I mean, like it's yeah. The Muriel Scout is also very strong because it comes in two hits and also hits two targets by default. Um, they do tend to miss because of their long animation, but it's a really strong ability because the second follow up has a much better targeting has a much better targeting thing. The Mermulon's guard for some reason when they charge, their targeting gets messed up because the front view smacks the units away and the back don't hit anything, but because of um how slow the attack comes in, they just end up not hitting anything because the front view guys just fling them all around and they all start triggering their attack when they collide with the enemy. So there's that. Again, not sure what they're trying to do with this one. It's basically worthless because you're going to charge in Murmillona's guards, run away, charge in again, and it's just those kinds of things. I guess they want the unit to kind of just stick into the fight. It's not going to work like that, mostly because they're only strong in shield wall formation and well, not shield wall. Like shield wall, not shield wall formation, but like just basically any formation. Problem here is just like what it's just like no one has to interact with you while you're in your strong state. The only people that wants to interact with you are people who are trying to kill you. So it's just like everyone will try to kill you because you're basically worthless without your charge. And it's just very it's just very unintuitive because just like you're a very strong shield unit, but you end up in a very dense formation after hitting. So you need to somehow create space for yourself in order to well, I mean, like, they create space for themselves by having knockback on hit, but it just doesn't work against the majority of units. So, I mean, they need to somehow make it so that they become more oppressive while in the shield wall formation, or have a follow-up to allow them to create space for themselves. So, I mean, like, it would just be completely busted if they just make the knockback unblockable, so that shield units just get battered away, and most units will just get affected by the knockback anyway. They don't do very much damage, but they're super tanky, so it's just like, sure, if they make a follow up, it's just like if they make a follow up, is it a defensive thing so that like they get wailed down on and they just become very difficult to kill. So that's because that's what's happening with the shield wall thing is that they're very difficult to kill, but it's not impossible to kill them. In for the most parts, it's just slightly it's a slight hindrance on your war path of killing everything. They're not particularly difficult to deal with because they're just a heavy shield unit and they just get beaten up. I just I don't know what I want. I don't know what they could do with these guys to kind of formulate a strategy of how to get these guys into a state where it feels good. They feel good as it is because their charge is so powerful, but it's just like they're a one trick pony. It's really funny because it's just like these guys feel like they're shock troopers. They're kind of like a one and done unit, like how um how Iron Reapers were before Tiger's Guild. So do they need something like Tiger's Guild, or do they need a way to retreat from the front line once they do their attack? Something like the Iron Cav retreat? Not sure. So buffing the shield wall, passive, doesn't really matter too much. It's really good just to heal up on the battlefield. Again, I love these guys because they're still a shield unit and they have a very powerful charge. I don't like the follow up, mostly because it's a follow up. And again, this passive seems quite redundant. It's just added fluff for basically no effect. Also, it's just counterintuitive because they're not real brawlers like you want them to be. So you need to add in something to make them brawlers. So one thing I will say is that they need to kind of fix the issue with their charge fizzling out when they come out of overhead. For some reason, when the Momilones are in overhead, they have an animation to exit overhead and then they enter Momilone's guard. But if they're in contact with anything, the animation for thing overrides over like for some reason gets cancelled into like an attack animation and it just completely fizzles out the charge in its entirety, which is really annoying. So anyone who actually ever uses these guys, you don't you can't charge point blank, which is really annoying. But yeah, honestly, I think they need to spread out the formation for the follow up for this. Instead of having a super dense formation like they do, create a little bit of space between the lines and open it up a bit. It would also be really cool if you could adapt the formation depending on the scenario. Like turtle formation be really great to get the front and the sides, focusing on the front and the sides, and the rear just leave open. Shield wall formation, excellent, because shield wall formation just creates a huge line, creates a lot of space up behind them, and again, keeps the entire enemy in front of you. Like if you're if you got that entire wall covered. Obviously, you have the basic Shieldtron, and again, like the special formation this thing creates, absolutely cool. Still stupid that you have a line of overhead shields in the center when you have two lines at the front and the back facing outwards, and you have the side and a single sideline. Like you could like I don't know why this formation is it looks cool, but it's so stupid at the same time. Like just make a box, just make a box. Um, or just copy the Shieldstron formation, but don't have the overhead shields and have all of them facing outwards attacking. So yeah, Not particularly sure what this one does. I mean, I'm not particularly sure what they're trying to achieve with the
Η
Marionettes.
μάχη θα σφραγίσει
Like
τη θέση μας
it's
στην
not fixing
ιστορία.
anything. We have a buff to the Companion Cavalry. I'm not sure about you. Like, I'm not sure about you, but it's not something that like it's not something that like I like. And by the looks of it, it hasn't come in yet, or it has. Oh man. Okay, I'll read out what is happening here. Increase the number of enemies all active skills can hit by 1. Okay, so I mean that means they do have a hit limit, which is great because hit limits are great. Increasing it by 1? We don't know what the initial hit limit was, but I'm of the opinion it's either 3 or 4. Now it's probably 4 or 5. Because 3, I think it was 3 because I don't I haven't, because of how much damage they're dealing, I do not believe it can be higher than 3. Otherwise, they'd be able to actually kill entire units with a single ability. But you have to use both of the ability to kill something like an ISG. So they're not dealing so much damage that each of them are just annihilating 2 units. I mean, like the damage is like 10,000 plus, but if they hit 3 units, that's enough. That's enough to actually kill 2 units. But with whole damage reduction thing, um, that would probably just end up with killing about one and a half units instead of like the 2 expected units. The next part is that increase the gradual increased damage effects obtained within the Sworn Guard realm by an extra 10%. That's massive, by the way. The Sworn Guard effect, honestly, I don't know what is the upper limit of their buffs, but an extra 10% could mean a lot. Because I honestly don't know what their base damage is like outside of the Sworn Guard effect. Well, I mean, I do, but like the Sworn Guard effect definitely seems like it doubles their damage, and an extra 10%. Like, let's say that these Companion Cavalry hit for anywhere between 3 to 4. When the Sworn Guard effect is kicked in, you're seeing easily 9, 10. This means that they're going to be pushing the 10, 11 at the Sworn Guard effect, with the Sworn Guard effect pushed at max charge. I It says it takes 15 seconds for maximum effect. Sure, maximum effect after 15 seconds. I honestly don't understand how people think this unit was weak. Run around, get that maximum effect, run them straight into a unit, and they would kill it. I was using these guys to instantly murder men at arms. People are saying, "Oh, you can just do that with any cavalry." Yeah, you can. Thing is that this if the you can charge the men at arms with these guys, kill the men at arms and the hero very easily. That's still a strong cavalry. These guys work more like melee cavalry than they do lance cavalry because they don't have a traditional charge kill everything. The other thing is that it's a very large unit and they're very fast. They're very their cooldowns are really low. So if these guys are like epitome of flanking cavalry. And I don't want to kind of use this argument in kind of like a way that oh, okay, this unit is balanced in such a way because it only can attack from the flank. Every unit can attack from the flank. The problem is that it can still attack from the front. They will still kill a unit from the front. But these guys are so fast. These guys have such a low cooldown. They come from the back, they kill the unit. They kill the unit so fast that like if they come in from the flank, they kill the unit so fast that it's basically dead. You reset so fast that you can hit multiple battles at the same time. And this is what happened when I was like playing with them on on um on the live server. Sure, they're not like a sweep through everything kind of thing. Doesn't mean they're not strong. They very much have their own limits. You can't just look at a pile of infantry and be like, I'm gonna kill it all, because you can't. That's just a simple fact. But they hit hard, they're fast, and they got low cooldowns. If you're killing one unit wholesale without repercussions, you're already doing more than your fair share. Because you can kill whole units with this unit, with this cavalry, and if you can just continuously reset, you're basically unstoppable. You're basically unstoppable. The only problem is that this guy's, for some reason, is dumb as bricks. Um, they're dumb as bricks for some reason, and it's just, I don't know why. So when you try to move them around in wedge formation, they have a tendency to overshoot it. I think it's something to do with kind of like them reworking the momentum kind of thing. So cavalry don't just stop on a dime and um, have and become unwieldy as they move. But the problem is that because of how the game works, cavalry that are unwieldy like this, and especially how weak they just feel clunky to use. How easy are they to kill? They just feel clunky to use. So I want to say that they're strong. They're still strong, and this buff to them just makes them even stronger. And I didn't even read out the rest of the stupid effects because I just stopped at number 2. Um, I don't understand what the Zephyr Blade global cooldown is still, because it makes no sense to me unless Zephyr Blade is being activated. Like, I don't know what this global cooldown for Zephyr Blade is, but it's being reduced from 4 to 2 seconds. Increase the damage of Storm Pound by 12%. Increase the unit size by 2. I think it was 23. Now it's 25. So it's even bigger. Tighten the formation to adapt to various narrow surroundings in siege battle. Honestly, just having a look at these cavalry in the unit training, the formation hasn't changed very much. I think that's a good thing. I don't particularly like when I don't particularly like the super dense wedge formations when cavalry need when like I don't like the super dense formations mostly because big wide formations looks cooler. As you can see, they have this tendency to like overshoot where they want to go a lot, and yeah, they just walk around all over the place. Now, you can see that they only hit around about 6,000, and I'm not sure if that's because not because I didn't wait 15 seconds, but they're obviously much stronger. They're obviously much stronger now. And I'm not even sure if that was even bonus damage, but you saw a 13k in there, right? it's not like a run everything over scenario, which is good because like a run over everything scenario is just bullshit.
Stand to! Quickly now! All troops form up! Fall in!
It's a very high damage. It's a high damage unit that got like it's got like limitations on its attack, which makes sense because they're a cavalry unit. This is probably one of the more balanced cavalry units, and it's still strong in the meta. Like, it is balanced. It's just too strong for everything else.
Destroy them!
And another thing, I don't like this. I don't like this lockout because of the base duration being 6 seconds,
All troops
and
form
they
up!
just twirl around
Stand
for...
to!
They have no follow-up. They don't have a follow-up. It's...
All troops form up!
doesn't
Fall
exist.
in! Wipe them out!
Yeah, those were a lot of back attacks. So without the buff, it feels like their damage gets cut in half, which makes them feel like a subpar unit. But while they have the buff, it's super crazy strong. It feels like they're getting double damage.
Stand to!
And they're fast as.
Form up! To battle!
They miss a lot as well, as you can see. That one missed completely.
Destroy them! Stand to! Quickly now!
Anyway, enough looking at that. I still think they're a very strong unit. If I was able to do a couple of tests, they'd probably be able to beat up.
For glory!
They'd probably be able to beat up.
Follow me!
They'd probably still be able to beat up like something on stuff like Madao. And I mean, like, the damage looks small because what you're seeing is a lot of contact damage numbers. But the damage numbers you need to look for are the big ones, because those are the actual hits. And it's cool because you can actually see that there is a separation. Some people don't notice that there's a separation, but they actually have a spear attack when you activate Guile's Strike. They actually have a spear attack when they come for Storm Pound. A lot of the small stuff is just their contact damage. It's around about 2,000 damage. It will drop down to around about 700 or something, 800, 7 or 800 when they're outside, when they're not empowered by Sworn Guard. Fine. It's not much damage when it goes down to that low, but you do have to remember that that hits multiple people as well. So any bit of damage can scale up. I want people to realize that I think that this cavalry is strong. Not sure about other people who've been using them, but like I can easily, consistently get 40 kills with these guys, basically 400, almost 400 unit score with these guys, at least over 300, and it's not even that hard. And I've managed to get 80, 100 kill games, and with over an 900, 8 or 900 unit kill score. So I'm saying this. I'm not sure if other people will say this, but I don't like how easy it is to like bullshit my way through everything. I want to have a tough fight, but all of the fights just last so short that I'm just really frustrated. Sure, these guys hit hard, but it's just like it's hit hard in comparison to now. Is like there's so much damage flying out that them only hitting hard once is just like, oh, okay, cool. Still, I want to be able to cancel. There's one thing that just really annoys the shit out of me is that I can't cancel into Storm Pound. You should be able to Gale Strike, Storm Pound, and cancel Storm Pound into Zephyr Blade. Why is it that they made it that you hard lockout with, like, the hard lockout makes no sense. Here, it makes no sense that you get hard lockout. And I don't particularly like the hard lockout because it just makes the unit feel clunky. They try to make each ability kind of like, oh, it's a one-tap ability. You can't follow it up because if you follow it up, it feels like bam, bam. So you hit them with a two combo, and it's just like nothing's gonna survive because you're dealing so much damage. But because of the delay, the forced delay, it feels like you're holding back your punch when realistically you should be able to use your abilities whenever, even if you have to cancel your attack. That being said, we've gone down to our last one, which is the weapon veteran can be interrupted by the startle the horse effect of brace, arquebusiers, and crossbows. So what that means is that this is probably going to be classified as a charge. Okay, fine. I don't know why Swift as Lightning, with this, didn't already count as a charge. I know Swift as Lightning counts as a charge, but apparently while they're attacking, they're not in the charge state. So, who knows? Do mind, the CC immunity will still probably make them CC immune to the 1 second. That being said, I don't know if this still is supposed to supersede CC immunity because for how I understand it, it seems like it doesn't. Or that was just how I felt when using Spahi Cavalry, that they were just very weirdly CC immune. But anyway, still 1 second of CC immunity. Use that correctly, you'll still kill a lot of things, and they'll burst out with damage. You can shoot them up now, so yay. Also, we have the new map. Go have a look at that. Oh, whoops. I don't even know why I needed to put that, because I'm just going straight. What do they call it? They just call it new map. Great. Excellent. So I need to go find a new map. Excellent. Oh my goodness. There we go. Holy shit. So we're gonna go walk around the new map. So that's cool. I'll walk around. I love the fact that it's Byzantine map again. I love the culture. but it is
Make
weird.
haste!
Our
Oh,
battering ram is preparing to
I
advance.
love these. These are amazing. You don't have to push these very far. Interesting cover.
Our battering ram is
Pretty
advancing.
sure they can shoot straight into here. Doesn't look like they got artillery on this side though. Huh, interesting. Looks like the defenders don't have artillery. So that's cool. They removed the whole shoot at each other, which is fine, I guess. It's one of the more boring parts of the game. Heaps of ladders though. Plenty of ladders. We got some culverins on this side. Definitely designed to break down the wall here.
Our battering ram has reached the gates.
So 2 battering rams, big open space. Man, this
Their gate
goes
has been
all the way
destroyed.
around as well. How far can I go? Oh, damn. That would be absolute madness if you could go further. Like imagine just going up here and there were ladders. You come up here, come up behind the base point. I don't even think there's any way down from the wall on this side though. Yeah, there's the limit there. Not that anyone would want to run that all the way there. Oh, those towers are... Okay, so you can't go past... As a defender, you can't go past that tower, so those are hard lock towers. Kind of strange that they don't fit the rest of them all. Are there any culverins to shoot back at? I don't doubt it. Ooh, these are epics. Very powerful. Ooh, very loud. Why was that so loud? Oh, did I not adjust the sound here? Maybe I did. There we go. That's my normal. Or around my normal. Tough little bugger. It's got a lot of damage resistance on it. These are supposedly epic culverins. Well, maybe they're disguised as epic culverins, but maybe they're green. Because they're not shooting as straight as, like, you'd expect. Damage is a bit low as well. Got plenty of openings as well. It's very nice. Like you got this, you got 2 main gates. One goes straight to the supply point. So this side, getting into the city, huge, absolutely huge. Oh, that's actually a really cool kill zone. But the attackers can come up here as well. My goodness. My goodness, some of these places are really cool. Pop out. Troops here on this side. They come around, getting shot from behind up thing. Someone can hold the top of the stairs, probably get strebbed immediately. Yeah, it gets trapped immediately. Why is those things so weird? Hmm. It's low walls as well, so it's not very particularly high. Got A, B, and base point, by the looks of it. Oh, do got a couple of defenses here. Can't see anything out on the front. I'm guessing. Ah, yep, and they pushed that one. Again, don't have to push them very far. Haven't seen these things on a map besides Heilong Fjord and, what's your face calls it? Oh man, this is real cool. So the reason they have so many ladders, because B is an elevated platform. Oh, wait! This is so cool. Look at this courtyard. Imagine just a whole bunch of guys climbing the wall that section. I mean, like, you wouldn't do it, by the way. Obviously, the main one would probably push this one here, and they'd travel straight up to B. Good fight as well, because they have a supply point here, means that they'll probably funnel troops up that stairwell. The number of ladders makes it seem like they want you to climb ladders, and so that's cool. You got the secondary one here as well. Obviously, siege towers are very brutal, and these things are not as brutal, but they're pretty much still insane to deal. Pretty much still insane to kind of get choked on.
Our team has
So yeah,
captured
that
point B.
opens up base point. That's so cool. I'm gonna double check, but I think these stairs probably won't stop cavalry. If it does stop cavalry, that's interesting. That means this courtyard is completely cab free, so it's a massive infantry fight, and by the looks of it, fairly safe from trebs actually. Only this back section, the main section that units will probably use to get in. So this back section is trebable. So this back section, oh, you got a couple of trebs. You can kind of hide behind this thing. I imagine this would be a really cool defense spot. This is obviously to help the attackers. So they roll up left and right. You could probably have range just sitting here, just shoot the crap out of those things. And obviously you can treb. Ooh, you can't treb that side though. You can treb this side though. So actually, fighting on here, you would only have to withstand one treb. Oh, two trebs. Should be two trebs, yeah. Two trebs. Not terrible. Not terrible, I would say. Too bad you can't climb up there. That would be cool. Can I bullshit my way? No. Even if they could climb up there, that would be cool. If they just had like a stair section, I think that would be cool. I'll capture A point real quick. Exploring everything is got a lot of twists and turns. I like it. Constantinopolis is kind of similar. Whoa, that is brutal. That is a brutal. That's a weird ass T junction, half T junction kind of thing. Attackers swinging left or right. No one would probably want to be on this side because it's completely open. I'm not sure. Wow, this is such a open map. I feel like you could have more people fighting on this map. Taking the wall feels cool as well. The B fight's going to be pretty much where most of the action happens. People probably will try to fight on the ground here,
Our team
but
has captured point
once
A.
the wall's broken and these doors are open, cavalry will just rule the day. I have no doubt about that. You got some nice stairs as well. You don't have like hard corners. Ventilation got destroyed on that side, so that's weird. Don't have to worry about arty because there's no arty from the enemy. Comes in here, upper road, down road. Whoever designed this map, props to you. This is amazing. Oh my goodness, and you got cool, and you got a cool little sneak path. This courtyard thingy looks absolutely beautiful because it's got a little bit of ruins as well. Trebable though, or not as trebable as I thought it would be. Probably the upper sections. So your best bet for
Capture the
like
point.
defenders is still
Still
probably fighting next to the wall. So
Your unit is
A
retreating.
and base is probably still your best.
Falling!
A is still probably your best hold
All
point,
troops form up!
or B.
Stand to!
I mean, holding A and B is probably like
Now!
should be your main thing.
All troops form up!
I think this might be a secondary
Stand
wall.
to!
Can I come up here?
Falling!
Yes, no, maybe. I cannot.
Form
Stair
up!
is blocked.
Quickly now! Stand to! All
Oh
troops
man,
form
this
up!
is kind of
Quickly now!
strange.
Form up!
Oh, blocked again. I think this entire section is like anti-cav. I think when you capture this one, it will say I can't bring out cav.
We captured a point.
Yeah, can't bring out cav, which is cool. This entire section is supposed to be no cav, but it also means that if you capture this section, oh, very very tight stairs, I must say. Not very practical for infantry to run down these things, but yes, yes, yes. I'll take them in now. I'm recording a video. And the final point's radius is tiny. It's like 5 meters. 5-meter radius. And as you can see, like this is a 30-meter thing. Like, I think it's 30 meters. I highly doubt it's 15. Or maybe it is 15. Trebable? This back section is super trebable. But looks like a couple of shots will get blocked this side.
Our team is about to capture the final flag.
Let's take a look around. The supply point being so close on that side makes me a bit worried because of how easy it is positioned. You got a bit of difficulty here. The attack is, oh, okay, so I can't enter that side, which is good. So that's probably where they spawn. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so I'm not even supposed to go there. Can I hop down? No, I cannot. That's not part of the map. Oh, that's cool though. How it looks so fleshed out. So this section here is like not part. Like this upper section here. So this is also capturable. Oh man, that's real tough. But this side is trebleable side, so what you want to do when you're defending base point is kind of cut them off at these two angles here. But you're threatened to get hit from the
You
side.
captured a point.
But that also is strange. Not strange, but like good for the defenders because these this section here is a hard stairs. Bunch of hard stairs. Oh wait, no, they're not hard stairs. This one's a pretty good one. I'm talking about these ones here. Got two sets of stairs, which are just brutal to go down. You'll get choked off here, probably get here. Can't check with the treb. But I don't think you can treb. I don't think you can treb that back section. So maybe. Oh man, maybe you'll have some archers shooting directly down. Get them standing up on that stairs. I'm pretty sure. It's a nice map. It's obviously a nice map. I would definitely love to test it out and see. I mean, I hope it stays in rotation. This is kind of fun when they have new maps that are open like this, where they have a lot of intricacies. Um, the most important thing I think of looking at the map is no no artillery for the defender side. So you don't have that back and forth with the shooting with the cannons, shooting with the things. The ramparts things, I'm not sure what to call them because they're not called siege towers. Those those things are very easy to launch because they're very far. Because your units will be very far away from the enemy, and they only have to push a very small distance. I mean, the distance looked to be around about only about 30 meters. That will take like less than 20 seconds, less than 15 seconds. Siege towers normally take a minute to about a minute and a half, depending on if you're just getting shot all the time. So, I love the map so far. How it's played, I'm not gonna be able to say anything, but definitely love the map. It's interesting that it is definitely interesting that you don't have any artilleries for the defenders. So yeah, that's all for this PTR. The adjustments for three of the units were pretty big. Zanji Heavy Cavalry is still going to be a menace. I don't think that they're ever going to buff. I don't think they're ever going to actually properly balance units. I think most of this is just kind of whatever. Companion Cavalry is getting stronger is sad. I don't like them to be any stronger than they are right now. I just want them to be less clunky. So that's the only thing. Obviously, the Myrmidons, I don't think the Brawler Shield passive is worth a damn. It seems pointless. Buffing the recovery is nice, but pointless. The 30% reduction in damage taken, great. It just means that while they're charging into stuff that deals damage to them, they'll still hit them very hard, which is good because they should receive defensive buff when they go on the offensive. Losing the shield wall defensive buff when exiting formation is kind of dumb. I think there's like they should they should have a mediation between normal state, empowered state, where it's just like I don't want them to have like empowered state and normal state. I want like just have a baseline. Memory alone as God should just be tanks throughout. They should be tanks when they're out of formation. They should be tank in formation, but it just maximized by formation, not add in buffs because of formation. But yeah, adding in the buff because of formation, fine. It's not terrible. Memory alone as guards getting that 30% reduction, great. It just makes the it makes the it makes the downtime lower so that you're not weak when you're attacking, and you're still strong and you're still tanky when you're in formation, and you're still tanky when you're attacking. So it's just like you're tanky all around and the only time you're not tanky is when you're moving. Iron Reapers is going to be iffy. The reset could be huge depending on what they're fighting. Um, Still, the base cooldown on their abilities is quite long, so they'll still have restrictions there. but a single charge tanking some hits before activating Tiger's Guild might maximize their tankiness. So there could be some nuance there. Whether or not people actually do it is another question. But I definitely expect Iron Reapers to be more upfront, um, to be more upfront with their decision to fight, because running away seems like a stupid decision unless you got no cooldowns. So if you have cooldowns, fighting seems like the way to go, and that's clear that Iron Reapers are kind of reaching that point where they're in the proper space. Still think that it's kind of dumb how high the damage resistance is getting. 60% is way too high in like the grand scheme of things. But they also have a very high they also have a very high they also have a very high defensive threshold with their base armor and stuff, which honestly only reduces most of the stuff by like 50%. So they're only taking like a quarter damage at this point. They don't reduce damage to nothing, but yeah, these guys will still these guys will probably still slap them for about 2,000 damage, maybe 1,000 damage at most. Still a lot of damage. You also got like you also got like pole armor units that will still probably rip through them. Not sure what's happening with those ones, but I know for a fact that like halberdiers will do a number on them. Medals can do a significant amount of damage, but in a trade-off, it's about 50-50. It'll be
My
strange to
blade
see
has never
Zweihanders
stayed
beat
on.
them, considering that if they do the charge into Tiger's Guild properly, they can reduce the upfront two swings by 60%, and then subsequently like get the follow-up three swings by 60%. So yeah. Or I mean like if Obliterate is activated properly and stuff like that. But yeah, gonna have to definitely check out some use cases for Iron Reapers. Iron Reapers should definitely be more usable, and because of the reset become I think they're already on teething on the edge of being meta. This should push them into the meta on the infantry side, and this should definitely get them to be the shock trooper that they were. Got cooldowns, go in, don't have cooldowns, sit at the back. So you got that little bit of rotation coming in. As long as they keep the cooldowns long, they shouldn't be impossible to deal with. But you would never want to go toe to toe with an Iron Reaper ever. If it has cooldowns, don't even bother fighting it, because they're never in a weak state, and you'll never catch an Iron Reaper in the weak state. And I'll say this: most of the times when you're dealing with Iron Reapers, you want to weaken them before ham engagement. Otherwise, you just lead them by a nose. Just bait them out, just bait out the cooldowns, and they'll be easy picking, because without the damage, they're nothing. Without the defensive debuff, they're nothing. Like, their armor is nothing in comparison to the amount of damage most units will deal. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but other than that, my name's Satsuki. Have a nice day. Bye now.